The New York Jets made a lot of changes this offseason. They hired their new culture-changing head coach, Aaron Glenn, the defensive coordinator of the Lions. He then sent Aaron Rodgers to space, and he ended up on the Steelers. And then the Jets signed the former Steelers quarterback, Justin Fields. A lot of changes went into this team, and yet here we are, week 8. They are 0-7. Many thought the Titans were going to be the worst team in football. It's clearly the Jets. They can't get a win. This last week, Justin Fields was so bad that Aaron Glenn went to Tyrod Taylor to replace him. It wasn't even an injury. They just benched Justin. So today we're going to simulate until they win a championship. Like, subscribe, and let's get into this. So looking at the team here, they have some interesting pieces. You know, Sauce Gardner is a great corner in this league. Quinnen Williams, an amazing defensive tackle. Garrett Wilson is a young stud, true #1 receiver, in my opinion. The problem is he just hasn't had anyone to throw him the ball the entirety of his career. Olu Fashanu was a great draft pick, and Breece Hall is a running back that they're going to have to make a decision on. Are they going to keep him or not? We're going to find out what the CPU does. But here's a little more in-depth look of the roster. Obviously, Olu Fashanu, a superstar development left tackle. And then in this most recent draft, they drafted Armand Membu, who's already an 80 overall at right tackle. So the tackles are really good on this team. In fact, the O-line itself is pretty solid. They just need a new center. Mason Taylor is going to be a fun tight end, but it doesn't look like Madden gave him any love. And then, yeah, outside of Garrett Wilson, there really isn't much here. Breece Hall, Isaiah Davis, Khalil Herbert, obviously Braylon Allen, not here right now. He did get very hurt. Justin Fields, the quarterback, Tyrod Taylor, his backup. Defensively, couple nice pieces, but that's about it. Quinnen Williams, we talked about. Andre Sisco is a solid safety, but there's not really too much going on here otherwise. Now, I will say I'm doing a Panthers franchise on stream. You guys can actually find the lives on this channel. Azariah Thomas, we traded for him. He ended up being pretty good. Now, it looks like Madden has not updated the Panthers week, so I'm just going to simulate this week. Hopefully, it's still a loss and we can actually be 0-7. Never thought I'd hope for a loss, and there it is. We lose to the Panthers 41-10. That was even worse than real life. We're at about mid-season mark, though, so we'll get an update on stats. Justin Fields, it's just not been great. Like, it doesn't look horrible. Only 2 interceptions, but only 5 touchdowns. He isn't throwing the ball very well. Rushing wise, Breece Hall is having a decent year, but still no rushing touchdowns. Fields can run the ball, but we already knew that. Garrett Wilson has 5 receiving touchdowns and 40 catches, 428 yards. Not really too much else here. Our tackles leader is Jamian Sherwood. Tackles for loss leader is Quinnen Williams. He also leads in sacks. We have 0 picks as a team. Awesome. Love to see that. And 3 forced fumbles by Quinnen Williams. So it's the Quinnen Williams show. So we are going to get this year out of the way. And honestly, our best hope right now is just hopefully we get someone good in the draft, because we should have the #1 pick. We ended the year going 4-13. Super Bowl recap. The Chiefs shut out the Commanders in the Super Bowl, 21-0. Okay. Patrick Mahomes also wins the NFL MVP, Todd Bowles Coach of the Year, and not a single Jet on here. Shocking. Fields ends up throwing for 3,000 yards, 17 touchdowns to 12 picks. Ugh. Breece Hall averages 4.6 per carry, gets 5 rushing touchdowns on the year. Okay. Garrett Wilson, almost a 1,000-yard season with Fields throwing him the ball. That is pretty unbelievable, honestly. Get him a real quarterback maybe in this draft, and he might flourish. All right, going into 2026, let's see what they did in the draft. They drafted a center. I love it. Unfortunately, we are riding with Justin Fields yet again at quarterback, but his backup this year is Desmond Ridder. We did sign Rico Dowdle in the offseason, which will help our run game a little bit, but really they focused on the O-line, and the O-line should be good long-term here. Also, Breece Hall did get his extension. He will be here for the next 4 years. Things you love to see. We actually have a running back. That's nice. And it doesn't look like too many changes on defense outside of drafting an edge rusher here in Marshall Pierce. That's an elite name. I like that name. So maybe he'll turn into something. I do not expect too much from this team, sadly, but who knows? Maybe we can be surprised and we'll get more than 4 wins. And would you look at that? We're 3-4 at the midseason mark. We're 1 win away from our season total last year. What has changed? Justin Fields is playing Justin Fields football, but it's not been terrible. You know, 10 passing touchdowns. We'll take that. Rico Dowdle has been coming in, only 19 carries, but 4 touchdowns to Breece Hall's 2. Talk about a vulture. Garrett Wilson's been pretty good, but Juju Smith-Schuster is here. And also Victor Barclay. I did not see him. He is a rookie. He's having a great year. Fields looks like he's spreading the ball around a little bit. We got to look at this Barclay fella. 21 years old, 80 overall. He's only normal dev, but how did I not even notice this guy? This definitely looks like the slot receiver of the future for the Jets. How about it? You know, this team could be decent if we had a quarterback. I'll say it. We could be decent if we had a quarterback. Well, after all that, we won the last game of the season and we went 5-12. an abysmal second half. We need a quarterback. That's like the biggest focus of the draft here. Fields threw for more yards this year, but he also had 21 interceptions. Breece Hall almost ran for 1,000 yards again this year. Rico Dowdle led in touchdowns, though, with 7. Juju was our leading receiver at 55 catches, 867 yards, 7 touchdowns. Had a better year than Garrett Wilson, even with Wilson and more catches. But the rookie, Victor Barclay, looks legit. 64 catches, 733 yards, and 7 touchdowns as a rookie. I would not be surprised if he moves up to star dev before next year. Our tackles leader on the year, 169 from Jamie and Sherwood. That is a lot of tackles. Tackles for loss leader is Jermaine Johnson with 15. Quentin Williams gets the lead in sacks, though, with 6.5, and picks 2 from Sauce Gardner, and then 1 from 3 other guys. And look at here, it looks like Victor Barclay is going to come in 3rd in offensive rookie of the year. That's a very good season. 2026 season recap. The Bills beat the Packers in the Super Bowl. Looked like it was a really good game too. Burrow wins the MVP, which is what we see a lot in these sims. And it looks like Brandon Ayuk came back to have a good season after the injury. How about it? Oh, please tell me they get a quarterback in the draft. All I want is a quarterback. You get a quarterback, you're going to be better. I promise, Aaron Glenn. Start of the 2027 season, we have a quarterback. I repeat, we have a quarterback. Reggie White, 21 years old, 6'5", hidden dev at 75 overall, 92 throw power. It looks pretty accurate, especially from short and deep. He can throw on the run a little bit. He has 84 speed. This guy is amazing. He's going to be good. Not too many changes on the offense otherwise. We got Tippin at center, even though we drafted the Bingham guy, so I'm a little confused about that one. But we have a quarterback. We have a savior for the Jets. Also, we talked about that Pierce fellow earlier. Yeah, superstar X Factor. Let's go. And even with that, we're 1-5 at the midseason mark. We are a better team by overall, but obviously we're not performing right now. It's a rookie quarterback, you know, rookie quarterback. Let's see how he's doing in his rookie year. 1,100 yards, 7 touchdowns, 7 picks. Okay, he's a rookie. He's a rookie. He has to develop. Breece Hall having a very similar season. Reggie White, 4.5 per carry on the ground. Not too many rushes, though. Garrett Wilson is having a not great year, but he is our leading receiver right now. 2 touchdowns. Mason Taylor also has 2 touchdowns. Victor Barclay has not done much yet, which is a little surprising. Do we just have an early bye? No, we're week 8 right now. I'm not really sure what's going on. It looks like the offense just isn't on the field very much. And we ended the year 5-12 again, but we came off a very good last game of the season, 36-6 win. Maybe we can build on that going into next year. Reggie White ended up throwing for more yards than Fields ever did for us, 3,600, 20 touchdowns, 18 picks, though. That's going to have to change as you get better. Breece Hall ran for 1,300 yards, 12 touchdowns. We unlocked the running game. That is what I'm talking about, baby. Looks like it was the Garrett Wilson and Trey Tucker show. Barclay is a bit behind them, but had the most touchdowns. Victor Barclay just looks like a touchdown machine. As Reggie White gets better, I could see 15 touchdown seasons out of Barclay. Hopefully they grow together very well. And even with that amazing season, Breece Hall falls to 2nd in the best running back award. Unfortunate. But just the fact that he's there is pretty cool in my opinion. Jonathan Taylor wins it though. 2027 season recap, the Giants won a Super Bowl in just 3 years. Not even. 2 full seasons. The Giants won 30-7 over the Steelers in the Super Bowl. That is absolutely insane. Burrow wins another MVP and Offensive Player of the Year. Okay. And no Jets there. Unfortunate, to say the least. Would love to see that. We sim to next year, though. We actually have been doing very good in the draft, in my opinion. They're drafting well. We just need to develop these guys. We might have a legitimate team here. I'm very excited to see the jump from Reggie White in year 2. I would love to see a big one, especially with that wide receiver. You know, they build together. They could be really good. Going into 2028, Reggie White is a star dev, but up to an 83 overall. Breece Hall up to superstar dev. I will say Barclay's overall is not really getting better. He's still an 82. We did draft another receiver in Medina, 76 overall, hidden dev, 22 years old, Joey Medina. Okay. And yeah, this offensive line looks very good now. It looks ready. I think the biggest thing we need to point out, though, is Jimmy Alexander. We drafted him at 21 years old, 83 overall out of the draft. Do we have potentially a generational running back here backing up Breece Hall? 97 speed. Breece Hall, we might be able to trade him with this guy. He looks insane. He's the same overall as Reggie White. Also, I'm seeing a lot of pretty big names on the defense here. This is a good team. If we can get a big year, or a big jump, I should say, from Reggie White here, this team could be really good. And yet we are 1-5 yet again. And that's because Reggie White hasn't been playing. Donnell Griggs is here, and he has been actually getting the majority of the snaps. White must have got hurt early in the year. That's unfortunate too, because White was off to a great start. 6-to-1 touchdown to pick ratio. Breece Hall is having a pretty good year already as expected. Jimmy Alexander coming in only 13 carries, 3 touchdowns. Looks like a beast already. Barclay is our leading receiver right now. 5 touchdowns, 300 yards. Wilson's only at 272 and 0 touchdowns. Feel like we got to utilize Garrett Wilson more. Now it looks like White is back, so hopefully the second half of the year does go better for us. Unfortunately, we got worse this year. 4-13. We're in 4-1 right now. It feels like this is not going well. Reggie White, though, on a partial season, 2,700 yards, 20 touchdowns, 8 picks. He's taking care of the football better, which we like to see that. Breece Hall, another great year, 1,100 yards, 8 touchdowns. Alexander, I'm curious to see how they utilize him in the offense more, because only 36 carries for a rookie that looks that good. He needs to be utilized more. Wilson ends up being our best receiver, 77 catches, 835 yards, 4 touchdowns. Barclay with 10 touchdowns, though. Oh, baby. That is half of White's touchdowns right there. 2028 season recap. We see the Packers lose in the Super Bowl again, this time to the Patriots. Drake May winning the Super Bowl MVP. Burrow wins his 3rd straight MVP. It's kind of outrageous how many MVPs I've seen him win during these. Like, it could be legitimately half. He's won a lot. Going into 2028, we draft a quarterback. He's nothing special, though. Reggie White up to an 85 overall. And wow, Alexander is superstar X Factor, 87 overall already. He's going to pass up Breece Hall at some point, maybe even this year. We also drafted another edge rusher in Bowles here, 78 overall hidden dev. He might go on the other side of Pierce for the long term. Wow. What an improvement. 5-1 at the midseason mark. Is this the year? And would you look at that? Reggie White is playing like one of the best in the league. 1,500 yards, 17 touchdowns, and only 1 pick. This guy's a beast. Breece Hall having an incredible year, but no touchdowns. And Alexander has 8 and only 31 carries. What is happening? Joey Medina is actually our leading receiver right now. 5 touchdowns, 397 yards. Barclay with 4 touchdowns, and Wilson only with 2. Looks like White is really splitting up these catches. 25, 27, 27, and 24. Love to see that. It's a balanced offense. And after the 5-1 start, we fall to 7-10 to end the year. Do not make the playoff. Wow, that is disappointing. Now, we did have the number 5 scoring offense, which was pretty electric, honestly. But unfortunately, this was not the year, but either way, it was an improvement. Reggie White, 3,700 yards, 38 touchdowns to 3 interceptions. He is officially one of the best quarterbacks in the league. Just based off that year, this is the breakout. Breece Hall ended up with 988 yards and 3 touchdowns, and Alexander, 692 and 124 carries, 5.6 average carry. Like, that is outrageous. 15 touchdowns. Jimmy Alexander honestly should be the RB1 at this point. Garrett Wilson is our leading receiver in catches and yards. He is not in touchdowns, though. That will be Victor Barclay again. Medina, though, great breakout year in my opinion. Defensively, Sherwood is our tackles leader yet again. Tackles for loss leader is Marshall Pierce, beating out Jonathan Grenard. Love to see it. Sacks leader still is Quinnen Williams. 3 picks from Sauce and 2 from Jarvis Brownlee. How about it? And wow, Reggie White was 8th in MVP voting this year. Things you'll love to see from a breakout player. And he was 4th in best quarterback. All right, Reggie. 2029 season recap. We see the Giants in the Super Bowl again, but this time they lose to the Cleveland Browns. The Browns won a Super Bowl before us. And it looks like they have a quarterback in Corey Campbell. Joe Burrow wins again. You've got to be kidding me. And in this, Brian Callahan still has a job. He is coach of the year for the Titans. Either way, though, this was a big year for us. I think we improved a lot. The team looks a lot better. We can start competing very soon, if not even next year. And wow, Breece Hall is officially out of here. James Alexander will be our RB1 for the future. 92 overall already. White is up to a 90. And for anyone curious, Breece Hall is a Bear. You know, there's been a lot of rumors this year about the Bears, or a lot of Bears fans are speculating that we'll be calling the Jets about Breece Hall. Looks like it's going to happen in real life, just way down the road. God, as a Bears fan, that would be sick to have Breece Hall, but I don't think we need to now. Now that we're recording this, the run game actually looks really good. DeAndre Swift looks incredible. Monungai had a very good week as well. So maybe the Bears don't. Maybe the Bears just stick with the running game because the running game right now is working. But I digress. This is about the Jets. Breece Hall's gone. It's James Alexander season. And we're off to a 4-2 start, up to an 89 overall. Also, we just beat the Bears. How about that, Breece? White is off to another great start. And James Alexander, I keep saying James. I guess Jimmy is short for James. It's Jimmy, though. Jimmy Alexander, 580 yards, averaging 6.9 per carry. This guy is going to be the best running back in the league. He will be. Wilson off to a really good start, but Barkley and Medina are the touchdown guys. Apparently they're the vultures for Wilson. Wilson doesn't get touchdowns. Now, as long as we don't fall off a cliff like we did last year, this could be the season that we finally make the playoffs. We're the number 3 scoring offense. We're the last scoring defense, it looks like, but we're great on the pass game, and our rushing offense is number 1. Jimmy Alexander is just that beastly. Unfortunately, we go 7-10 again. We are the number 32 defense. We're last in defense. I'm really not sure why. The defense looks really, really good. Azariah Thomas is up to an 8. Our corners are elite. Our number 4 corner is a superstar dev, 80 overall. Our number 5 is a 78 overall superstar. We have really solid linebackers, good safeties, a good defensive line. I don't know why it's so bad. I will say our best scheme fit right now is a base 3-4, so I might change our defensive scheme for that just to see if that makes a difference. Aaron Glenn likes to run a 4-3, but the scheme fit says 3-4, so we're going to try that next year. Looking at the end of the year, though, Reggie White, 3,800 yards, 38 touchdowns again, only 9 interceptions. Jimmy Alexander, 1,300 yards and 7 touchdowns. He has arrived. Garrett Wilson, hey, he has a quarterback thrown to him now. 94 catches, 1,100 yards, 6 touchdowns. But Victor Barkley, almost 1,000 yards and 14 touchdowns. Medina adding 9 as well. And Sauce Gardner is going to win best defensive back this year. He did have 4 picks, I saw. Shout out Sauce. 2030 season recap. The Raiders are Super Bowl champions. How about it? Deion Sheldon, their new quarterback, wins the Super Bowl MVP. The Saints have an MVP winning quarterback in Sean Schilling. That's kind of a fun name to say. Sean Schilling. No Jets, unfortunately, in these yearly awards, but we did see Sauce win the best DB, so that is something. And look at that. He was actually tied for 2nd in interceptions this year. Going into 2031, we have a couple changes here. It looks like Ruiz is now our starting right guard at Superstar Dev. Love to see that. White is a 92. Alexander 94. Barkley is officially our wide receiver 1. Garrett Wilson moves down to 2. And it looks like we drafted another receiver at a 75 overall at 21 years old. Mitch Green. He's 5'8" though, so maybe a new slot. He has 94 speed and he's a deep route guy though, so I guess maybe he's just going to be a go ball downfield guy. New defensive scheme, and our defensive tackles get worse. So we lose Quinnen Williams. That's why. So we move to a 3-4 and then lose our best defensive tackle. Not ideal, but we did need a change, so we'll see what happens. Now, we are 5-2 at the midseason mark, but I want to point out Reggie White here. 1,800 yards, 14 touchdowns, 1 pick. This might be an MVP year for him. Number 3 scoring offense, and the defense is number 24. So that is an improvement technically. Oh my God, we did it. We are in the playoffs. We go 11-6. We're going to face the Chiefs in the wild card round, who also went 11-6. Reggie White had another Reggie White season. It's not MVP caliber necessarily, but it's very good. 3,800 yards, 30 touchdowns, only 2 interceptions. And Jimmy Alexander, 1,400 yards, 14 touchdowns at an average of 5.2 per carry. This guy's elite. Victor Barkley at his first season as our true wide receiver 1, 1,100 yards and 15 touchdowns. He's the guy. Wilson has 2 touchdowns on 854 yards. Medina 784 with 5 touchdowns, and Mason Taylor still here with 6 touchdowns. And Aaron Glenn, number 3 in coach of the year this year. I mean, this was a big improvement year. He deserves it. And we are going to jump into this wild card game against the Chiefs. We are the better team by overall. Can Reggie White, though, lead us past Patrick Mahomes in his first playoff game? Now, we have a trend here. It's raining in the first playoff game we ever play. It's happened every video so far. We have a beautiful night at MetLife Stadium, and wow, this looks beautiful. Oh my goodness. Reggie White getting ready to lead his team out here. The crowd is going ballistic. Number 10. Okay. I don't know how I feel about that number as a quarterback. I'm not going to lie. Reggie White's going to drop back, and he's going to be brought down. First sack of the game for Leo Chenal in the first play. After throw for a first down, Reggie White sets up under center, and it's going to be a handoff to Alexander, who cuts to the outside, showing off the speed. Big first down for Jimmy Alexander. There's that 97 speed he has. All right, White sets up from the 39 under center again. They're giving to Alexander. Never mind. It is play action. And it's a throw to Medina. I'm sorry, that's Ben Magana. That's actually a name that we have not seen at all in this save, apparently. All right, Reggie White setting up in empty. It is 5 wide. White drops back, throw over the middle, and it is Barkley again. And that's going to make it 3rd and 2. Alexander sets up next to White, 3rd and 2 from the 31 here. I would believe that's field goal range. It's read option. White is blown up down at the 33. It would be a 50-yarder. I think we can hit that. And we are going to set up the kick. I believe that's Will Lutz we have now at the kicker. Either way, kick, snap. Kick is up. The kick is no good. Will Lutz misses wide right. And hopefully our defense can hold off the Chiefs. We do take a 7-0 lead in the first. Chiefs bounce back in the second. We're up 14-7 now. And it is 21-7 before half. Chiefs come back at the beginning of the second half and score. We're up 24-21 now. It was 24-14. 31-21, 31-28. And the Chiefs have the ball here. And it's going to be 1st and 10 from the 47. Mahomes only has 52 seconds and 1 timeout to work with. That is too much time for Mahomes. Jets, we were offside. Why were we offside there? Why were we offside? What are we doing? They're going to decline that because they just got yardage. Brett Noack, what are you doing? 1st and 10 to the 33. Chiefs are now in field goal range. But of course, Mahomes will be going for a touchdown here. It is Patrick Mahomes. 48 seconds left. They still have their timeout. Mahomes drops back. Quick throw over the middle. It's Xavier Worthy. It's Xavier Worthy to the 15. I feel like we're witnessing Mahomes magic right here. This hurts a lot. 44 seconds, 1st and 10 from the 15. Mahomes drops back. Another throw over the middle, and it is caught. 2nd and 3. They're wasting time here. They chewed. Mahomes drops back. Come on, Swan a pass down. Get him, get him, get him. No! Last second touchdown, Xavier Worthy. Lay out or something. They sold out for the field goal. The last play. This is unbelievable. The point after could put this out of reach for us, and it does. The Jets are going to lose, barring a wild kick return, which I don't see happening. 5 seconds left. The kick is up, and the kick will be out the end zone. We have to do a Hail Mary, and it will be a Hail Mary. Reggie White, he has the arm strength to at least get it downfield. What the hell was that, Reggie? Who had a great game, by the way. The defense didn't hold against the Chiefs. Chiefs come back in the second half, and we saw a little bit of Mahomes magic, and we are out of the playoffs. Reggie White was actually incredible in his first playoff game. 27 for 36, 322 yards, 4 touchdowns, and no interceptions. But Mahomes was better. 36 for 51, 398, and 5 touchdowns, including the game winner with 5 seconds left. Jimmy Alexander, 11 for 67. Maybe we just didn't run the ball enough, man. At 6 yards per carry, we're only giving it to him 11 times. Victor Barclay had an amazing game. 12 catches for 170 and 3 touchdowns. Might be one of the best performances ever by a wide receiver in the playoffs. Mason Taylor adds a touchdown with 70 yards on 6 catches. Garrett Wilson was kind of a no-show, but at least we finally made it. This is an improvement. This team is actually good now. We just got to actually have it translate in a game and maybe not face Patrick Mahomes. That'd be ideal. 2031 season recap. The Chiefs don't even make the Super Bowl. The Raiders are Super Bowl champions. Genty was the MVP. Mahomes was the NFL MVP this year, though. So we did lose to Patrick Mahomes, the NFL MVP version. This was a massive jump, though, this year. I'm looking forward to a very successful 2032. And speaking of 2032, we finally get star dev for Barclay, and we drafted potentially a generational left guard on the O-line here. This O-line looks insane. However, we do lose Mason Taylor. He is gone. We have a 74 at tight end. Not ideal. All right, Raheem Strong, I was not aware of your game. 200 yards on 22 catches and is our 3rd best receiver to start the year. I also didn't realize he's 6'5" and 21 years old, playing up to a 77. This guy might actually be decent. And we go 8-9 and do not make the wild card. We did end our season on a 31-14 winning over the Chiefs, though, so I guess that's revenge. Looks like the offense was not nearly as good as usual. Number 19 in scoring, not ideal. Reggie White doing the same thing he always does, man. Like, we haven't seen a breakout since this, but this is a very good season. Maybe we just don't throw the ball enough. Alexander was incredible, though. Almost 1,300 yards, 5 touchdowns. We also have Christopher Carr here with 5 touchdowns. Okay. Barclay, another amazing season, 1,200 yards, 12 touchdowns. Wilson adds 8 touchdowns. And that Raheem Strong fella, that's a very solid rookie year. I'm sorry, I was not aware of your game. And Strong was actually 3rd in offensive rookie of the year as well. Not bad for a tight end. I will say, with the weapons we have and how good Reggie White is, I feel like he should be having some bigger seasons. We might do a playbook change, and I'm thinking the Chiefs, just because We have the weapons. You know what I mean? We have the weapons, and White is that good. Like, I'd say these ratings are very Mahomes level. I think he could pull off that playbook. I will say Detroit's playbook seems very interesting to me with this team. So actually, we're going to try that before we try the Chiefs. 2032 season recap, though. We got the Bills winning 38-20 over the Commanders in the Super Bowl. Josh Allen still there, still the MVP. The Cowboys now have a new quarterback, and he wins NFL MVP, DeMonte Curtis. That is it for 2032. I'm very excited to see 2033 with our playbook changes. I think the offense is going to be better. I really do. And Barkley is up to superstar development, 90 overall, and it looks like Garrett Wilson has fallen to wide receiver 3. And Mitch Green is not far behind him. This year we go 9-8 and yet again don't make the playoffs, but we have a winning record. At least that is, I guess, kind of an improvement. We were the number 5 offense in points per game, number 21 in defensive points per game. Not great. Our rushing offense was number 1. We were number 31 in passing yards, though, so I guess Lions playbook is not good for Reggie White. Only 3,200 yards, 30 touchdowns, 8 picks. We just didn't throw the ball enough. Now, Jimmy Alexander was absolutely unreal. 1,500 yards, 11 touchdowns, incredible. And Barkley didn't even reach 1,000 yards receiving. Yeah, it may not be the Lions. It might be the Chiefs. We know we have a good enough quarterback to run a very pass-heavy offense, so we're going to try the Chiefs out this next year. 2033 season recap. The Cardinals are Super Bowl champions over the Chargers. And they have a new quarterback in Deshaun Coleman. He also wins the NFL MVP. What a year for the Cardinals quarterback. And a little update here. Garrett Wilson is officially off the team. I don't think he retired, but I don't think we actually re-signed him, unfortunately. So it's the Barkley, Medina, and Green show from here on out. I will say it looks like we drafted a very, very good tight end in Brad Elfman, 21 years old, 80 overall hidden dev. And it looks like he can run and catch a little bit. So we're going to have 2 good tight ends on this team. And I think the change to the Chiefs playbook was a good one. Reggie White at the half is over 2,000 yards with 19 touchdowns. Now, Jimmy Alexander's not running the ball as much to start, but he does have 6 touchdowns, so he's using his carries. And Brad Elfman looks like he's taken over as the starting tight end already. 424 yards, 8 touchdowns. He's the Kelsey of this offense. And we have made the playoffs yet again, 11-6 this year. Things you'll love to see. And Reggie White, 4,600 yards, 40 touchdowns, 8 picks. We unlocked him. We unlocked him with this new offense. Alexander does run for over 1,000 yards and 14 touchdowns. Not as many carries as normal, but still very effective. Barkley catches almost 1,200 yards on 86 catches, 15 touchdowns for Barkley. And yes, I think we have our offensive rookie of the year right here. Brad Elfman, 939 yards and 12 touchdowns as a rookie. Mitch Green had a step up this year with 751 yards, and Medina was 720. And Marshall Pierce, remember that edge rusher we talked about earlier? He is defensive player of the year this year. Wow, that is awesome. Brad Elfman is also the offensive rookie of the year officially. And Reggie White was the 3rd best quarterback in the league. Trevor Lawrence is still on the Jags. We are going to sim this wild card round, though, and let's see if we make it to a divisional. We do not. We lose to the Patriots 25-18. Oh, the Jets are never going to win a Super Bowl. Ever, ever, ever. By the way, Pierce led in sacks with 21 this year. 2034 season recap. The Raiders win another Super Bowl, this time over the Panthers. Bills quarterback Bo Callaway wins the MVP, so Allen is gone. And as you can see, we have 2 names on there, Pierce and Elfman, like we talked about earlier. We're showing out, damn it. We just got to make it past the wild card. All right, 2035 preseason. Something I just noticed, we are a 93 overall team with a 95 offense. That is outrageous. I got to see what this team looks like. And wow, Reggie White is officially superstar dev at 96. We got Alexander at a 98 X factor. Barclay's up to a 91. And we just drafted another rookie receiver in Desmond Cleary, who looks like he's going to be a beast, already at 77 overall. And oh my God, Elfman, 90 overall X factor going into year 2. What a beast. And yeah, I'd say the defense looks pretty darn good. This is a team that can win a championship. We just got to make the playoffs, which seems to be pretty hard for us. And that's things we love to see right there. 12-5 here in 2035. We also had a 35-0 win 2 weeks ago against the Patriots, which is pretty cool to see. We were the number 3 ranked scoring offense, the number 10 ranked scoring defense. The team had a year. Reggie White, 4,200 yards, 35 touchdowns, only 3 takeaways. Jimmy Alexander ran for 1,000 yards and another 10 touchdowns. Barkley was at 1,100 yards and 17 touchdowns. Oh my goodness. Medina had his first 1,000 yard season. and 6 touchdowns. And then the rookie Desmond Cleary, 868 yards and 7 touchdowns. Elfman wasn't even that involved this year, which is kind of crazy considering how last year went. Marshall Pierce had another big season in the sacks with 16 this year, and nothing else too crazy on the defensive side of the ball. And Reggie White wins an MVP. It will be official after the Super Bowl, but it looks like Reggie White is going to win his first MVP. A Jets quarterback winning an MVP. How about it? Of course, he was in the conversation for Offensive Player of the Year, but Barkley was right behind him as well. And Marshall Pierce wins his 2nd straight Defensive Player of the Year. How about it, man? Cleary was number 3 in Offensive Rookie of the Year. That's crazy because he had a really good year. Obviously, Reggie White also wins Best Quarterback. Pierce wins Best Defensive Lineman. But we see Jets all over these awards, man. This is incredible. So we are going to sim till next week. We did get the 1 seed. Obviously, that's why we got the bye. We're going to face the 10-7 Denver Broncos in the divisional. And it looks like their defense is still elite. Number 4 scoring defense this year. A little bit scary, but our offense is much better. We will see what happens. We are going to jump in. I feel like a home playoff game, we got to jump in the alternates, the black jerseys. I think they look sick. I am excited. And here we are yet again at MetLife in East Rutherford, New Jersey. Those black jerseys look awesome. This will be a day game this time, but I'm just glad there's no weather. And something I would like to point out that's a little bit crazy is the fact that Jaden Daniels is the Broncos quarterback now. Still a 96 overall at age 34. Unreal. And it looks like Daniels led his team down for a touchdown the first drive, but here is Reggie White. It's going to be a handoff to Jimmy Alexander first play, and the Broncos swarm him. It's going to be a loss of 1. We need the offense to get going this game. We need points because obviously Jaden Daniels is going to score them as well. Reggie White out of the shotgun here. He has superstar dev now, so we see that icon. He's going to drop back, throw to the left side, and it is not caught by the tight end. And that makes it 3rd and 11. White out of the shotgun. I see Elfman with that X factor down there. And there's the snap. Big drop back. It's a screen to Jimmy Alexander. Amazing block out front. And Alexander makes it 4th and 1. You gotta go for it here, right? And no, the CPU is making us punt. Why, guys? Why? I understand it's by the 40, beginning of the game. It's the smart play, but I want us to be aggressive, man. But jumping forward, a very disappointing first drive. It's going to be 10-0 Broncos, but we do score a touchdown very quickly. Broncos score again. And at the end of the half, it's 17-7. We need some big drives here. Nope. 24-14 going into the 4th quarter. Oh, we made it a game just for a sec. And it is a game again. Never mind. The Broncos score again. And it's a 2-touchdown game with 2 minutes left, and that is going to do it. There was a chance at some point there. I saw 1-score game with like 2 minutes left, but that was right when Jaden Daniels led them down again. And we lose again in the playoffs, this time in the divisional. But we can't win a playoff game, man. It's been the first playoff game every time. Reggie White was 24 for 39, 294 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a pick, which is unusual for him. Alexander only got 9 carries for 39 yards. Reggie White had 3 for 15 and a rushing touchdown. Desmond Cleary was the big receiver this year, 8 catches for 87 yards and a touchdown. Barkley added 5 for 61 and a touchdown as well. And Medina had 77 yards on 5 catches. We're spreading the ball around like always, but we just can't win a playoff game apparently. Quite disappointing. And that means we got to go to 2035 and we have negative 10 mil in salary cap. Hell yeah, this team is going to get so much better. 2035 season recap. The Broncos do end up winning the Super Bowl. Daniels is Super Bowl MVP. Reggie White officially the MVP. And then, oh wow, the Defensive Player of the Year is not who we thought it was. That is unbelievable. So I guess when they're in first on that doesn't mean they're always going to win the award, but Reggie White is the MVP. Love to see that. Going in the 2036 season, we do lose Medina, which is really unfortunate to see. Obviously, we couldn't end up paying him. A couple other losses as well, but we are now in 88 overall. Last year might have been the year, man. That was definitely our best team on paper. And the results would back that statement as we go 8-9 and do not make the wild card. Man, the season we just had into what that is, that's just unbelievable. White had a bit of a down year, but he also didn't play every game. It looks like Brandon Green got in there for a little bit. He actually did okay. Alexander rushes for 1,200 yards and 10 touchdowns. Barkley, another insane year, another 15 touchdowns. Elfman got his swag back, and Cleary honestly did the same thing he did last year. Peter Borden, though, getting in there, 783 yards and 7 touchdowns. Okay, we like that. And the craziest thing I see here, Bobby Parker, our defensive tackle, with 22 tackles for loss. What a beast. And Landon Dixon, our starting corner, with 4 picks. And Landon Dixon, one of our starting corners, with 4 picks. That's a big year for him, too. Now, we do have the defensive rookie of the year front runner in Pierre Hanna. And the best running back this year was Jimmy Alexander. He earned it, man. He earned it this year. And best DB was Landon Dixon. So we did have some award winners. Unfortunately, that did not lead to enough wins in general for the team. And our salary cap is minus 27 mil. I don't see how we get better unless we develop. 2036 season recap, we have the Rams winning the Super Bowl over the Steelers this year. And Pierre Hanna does win defensive rookie of the year. Things you'll love to see. Going in 2037, we drafted another receiver in Jesse Matthias. Don't need to talk about him too much, but he's likely going to be catching passes this year. And Armand Membu is finally gone, and our tackle situation is not great here on the offensive line. And yet it's another year where we go 9-8 and don't make the wild card. This is insane. And this year was the defense's fault. Number 25 scoring defense is brutal. Another great year from Reggie White. This was year 10 for him. How old is he now? 31 years old. Playing up to a 99 overall. We're going to start having regression from him at this point. And we still haven't made it past the divisional. Jimmy Alexander, another great year, but he just played year 9. He's 30 years old. He's going to start regressing very soon, especially as a running back. Barkley had another great year, but we just didn't have quite the explosive year from a receiver that we normally have. Now, Phil Alexander did come in here and have 8 catches. It looks like Desmond Cleary got hurt this year, which honestly probably played a role that our number 2 receiver got hurt. It's probably why we lost so much. PJ Blackwell, over 150 tackles is outrageous. Our sacks leader is Pierre Hanna. Okay, it looks like we lost that one edge rusher, but Hannah's going to fill the void. 12.5 sacks and another 3 picks for Landon Dixon. How about it, man? 2037 recap. Rams are Super Bowl champions again, this time winning over the Chiefs. And nothing of note except the Jags just absolutely dominating some of these awards here. Defensive Player of the Year, Defensive Rookie of the Year, and Offensive Rookie of the Year. Crazy. Also, the Defensive Player of the Year and the Defensive Rookie of the Year are both defensive tackles on the same team, but different players. And we have gotten to the point where Victor Barclay is no longer on the team. This is insane, man. Cleary's now our number 1, Matthias is our number 2, and Costa is a guy we just drafted at 75 overall. Will be our number 4, likely to be number 3 later in the year. Our offensive line is so much worse. I think we've missed our window. I truly think we've missed our window, which is so unfortunate when we guys have guys like Alexander and White. Also, Alexander down to a 94 overall. He is regressing. And we make the wild card this year, going 11-6, by the way. Now, we did win our division, but it looks like the Pittsburgh Steelers unfortunately got the 1 seed, even though they had the same record as us. Reggie White was very good this year, although he did throw 10 interceptions, which is a little bit unlike him. Alexander had another great year, 1,100 yards, 8 touchdowns, but how much longer is he going to do this? That was year 10. Elfman was our top receiver in yards, but Costa, the rookie, with 13 touchdowns, we might have found our new Barclay. And Andrew Costa will win the Offensive Rookie of the Year with that. Understandable. That's a lot of touchdowns. But we have to make it through a wild card round, and we got to beat the Chargers. This is going to be tough. But I'd love to make it past the divisional for the first time in this entire video, considering we're in 2038. We do beat the Chargers. It was a close one, 31-29, and now we got to go against the 10-7 Kansas City Chiefs. We played them before. This is the divisional. Can we make it to the AFC Conference Championship? And the answer is yes. We beat the Chiefs 38-28, and now we face the Pittsburgh Steelers, the 1 seed. It's the 1 versus the 2 in the conference championship. We're jumping in. Now, crazy, the very year that I said I think we missed our window, we are in the conference championship for the very first time. We are in Pittsburgh. Hostile crowd, but the weather looks good enough, even if it's probably very cold. We are jumping in here in the AFC Conference Championship. So it looks like our defense bent but did not break. The Steelers only get 3. Now it's going to be Reggie White handing to Jimmy Alexander, and it's a good run from Alexander. It's going to give us 6. Great start to the drive. It's going to be 2nd and 4 here. And there's an empty backfield going on here for White. Man in motion. White drops back. And it's going to be a throw to the right side, and it is caught. And that is going to be the rookie, Andrew Costa. First down, Jets. We are now to the 40. It's going to be White out of the shotgun. Drops back. Quick throw. And that is going to be Brad Elfman, the tight end. And that is actually wrong. Correction, Cade Harrison, the other tight end. Out of the shotgun again. 2nd and 2. This Jets offense is moving to start. And it's going to be a handoff to Alexander, who does get the first down. I saw him reaching there. I didn't really like that. That was a little bit scary there, Jimmy. Oh, Jimbo. 1st and 10. We are across the 50 now. White sets up, and it's going to be a handoff to Alexander. Never mind. Play action. Long throw. It's caught by Costa. What a catch. Reggie White, that was a bullet. Also, again, Jesse Matthias. A lot of these guys from this camera view, you can't really see their numbers. Jesse Matthias, a 40-yard catch from Reggie White. What a bullet. And we are in the red zone at the 8-yard line. White out of the shotgun. It's going to be a pass play. Plenty of time. He's going to scramble. He's going to run it. And it's a touchdown for Reggie White. What a first drive here in the conference championship. Wow, he just tucked it and ran it. Love to see that from our mobile quarterback. And we have a 7-3 lead here in the first quarter, and that's going to jump to 14-3 in the second. Pittsburgh can't get anything going right now. 21-3, and we're into the second half. 28-3. This game is over, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to a Super Bowl, barring some insane comeback. And it's going to be a 42-17 final score. The New York Jets are in the Super Bowl, baby. What a performance. Mike Tomlin still coaching the Steelers in this day and age is kind of crazy. Granted, Aaron Glenn probably would have been gone in real life by now based on the results we've had. And Reggie White, an incredible game. 25 for 33, 339 yards, 4 touchdowns and no picks. Alexander was 16 for 76 and a touchdown. And White, we saw his touchdown run. Andrew Costa, the rookie, 9 catches for 111 and a touchdown. Jesse Matthias, the sophomore player, 5 for 132 and a touchdown. Elfman, the stud tight end, 4 for 31. Desmond Cleary added a touchdown, 3 for 32. Jimmy Alexander added a receiving touchdown as well, 2 for 21. And Cade Harrison, the backup tight end, 2 for 12. What a performance. And we will be playing the Detroit Lions, who went 13-4 this year in the Super Bowl. This is going to be a banger matchup. We tried their playbook at one point. Now, on paper, we are the better team. And of course, we have to jump in and see what happens. Our first Super Bowl. It only took, what, 13 years? 11 years from our quarterback that we drafted. Regression from our stud running back that we had for so long. But we finally made it. Why did that kind of look like Jared Goff? That's definitely not Jared Goff. Why do I feel like it was? Oh my God, it's a downpour. Oh my God, it is a downpour. In the Super Bowl? Okay, he's aura farming. Number 10 there was aura farming like crazy. That was nuts. Okay, this is not exactly what we were hoping for, but we have a Super Bowl appearance. I am just very nervous about this weather. For whatever reason, Madden does not like my teams in the rain. It's scary. We will be getting the ball first here, though. It's not Goff, by the way. It's Elijah Barrett, as it should be. Goff, no, there's no way in hell he would be playing right now. And here we go. This weather is insane. What a Super Bowl here. I mean, if we win it, we earn it. You know what I mean? It's going to be a handoff to Jimmy Alexander, who will be stopped immediately. There's an injury timeout on the field. It looks like one of our offensive linemen. It's Ruiz, and he's one of the best ones. Don't like to see that, man. Oh, my God. They have my hairline in the game. Was not aware Ruiz had the horn of destiny on his forehead. Either way, moving on. 2nd and 8. Let's see what we can do here. It's going to be a lot of running the ball today. It's another handoff to Alexander, who got absolutely rocked and loses a yard on the play. And we're going to be forced to throw the ball here if that's even possible in this weather. 3rd and 9. White out of the shotgun. Here's the snap. It will be a pass as we expected. It's a quick throw over the middle. I believe that is Costa. And there's another injury timeout, and it's another offensive lineman of ours. 4th and 2. I assume we punt here, and we are. I'm sure that's going to go a whole 20 yards because it is horrible out here. Okay, a little more than 20. That was actually a really solid punt. All the way to the 25. We'll take that. Let's see if we get any points here. It's still a 0-0 ball game. We get a safety. And that is the only points of the game so far until Detroit scores a touchdown. Then we match them. Now Detroit scores again, 14-9 going into the half. And we score a touchdown to beat the buzzer. 16-14 here in the third quarter. Detroit kicks a field goal. We kick a field goal. And then a touchdown, 26-17, 26-24. And we have the ball with 2 minutes left. We got to jump in. 2nd and 8 from the 45. This rain has not relented. Past the 2-minute warning. White's going to drop back and pass. Throw over the middle. It's caught by Costa, and he's going to score. And he's down at the 1. Actually, a really smart play by Andrew Costa, the rookie. But that right there probably iced the game. And it's victory formation. We're not even going to score. Your final is going to be 26-24. The New York Jets are winning the Super Bowl. We're winning the Super Bowl, damn it. Oh my goodness. It finally happened. The first year we even made a conference championship, we win the Super Bowl. Last victory formation here for Reggie White. The crowd is going ballistic. And that is the game. And that is the game. The Jets have done it. Finally. In 2038, the Jets have finally won a Super Bowl. Jets fans, this one's for you. Aaron Glenn won himself a championship. Even though he's probably well into his 60s now in this save, if we're being honest. Reggie White, franchise quarterback. Things you'll love to see. And there we are on the podium. Roger Goodell giving us the Lombardi. Aaron Glenn. He's been through a lot in this save. Somehow kept his job through all of it. We won't talk about how that happened. The New York Jets have won it. And in 2038 season recap, the Jets win the Super Bowl and Reggie White was the Super Bowl MVP. Guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Leave a like, subscribe, comment down below who you want to see me do this type of video with next. And guys, I know you guys are going to enjoy this video right here on the screen. Make sure you guys click on it, check it out. We'll see you in the next one.